Good evening, everybody. I see we got all the registrants in the room, so I'm okay starting a minute or two early. Thanks for coming out. My name is Curtis. I'm the founder and lead trader for Compound Trading Group. You can find our website at compoundtrading.com. We are basically a swing trading, day trading, and machine development for machine trading platform. We provide services to day traders as it relates to this webinar, specifically to oil trade alerts. So those are live alerts for oil traders to use. We provide a live oil trading room for oil traders to come in and hear broadcasts of my live trades and setups that include charting, etc. So oil trade alerts, the oil trading room, a private oil Discord server, and the server has two purposes. Its main purpose is to provide guidance for various setups, the charting, and so it's basically a depository that members can access at any time. It also provides a platform for the oil trade alerts so that you can get notifications on your personal device very quickly and efficiently. Not only the trade alerts, but also the charting and setups, right? The oil trade alerts also come over a private member Twitter feed, but Discord's much quicker and it's much more versatile. And then fourth area of service that I'm going to be discussing are the actual algorithm models and conventional charting that come in the oil member newsletters or reports. And those usually come by way of two primary methods. One is, or take two primary formats. One is our conventional kind of weekly newsletter that runs through the algorithmic modeling and conventional modeling and setups. So that's the private member premium newsletter service. And then also we have various feature reports and different, how to trade type blogs and articles that come out. There are other services on our platform that would include things like private trade coaching events where everybody gets together on an island, say like the Dominican Republic, where I am right now, and those type of things. We have special webinars, all the things that conventional trading service like ours provides. Oh, there's an alert on oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through how to use our platform. So how to use oil trade alerts properly, the live trading room, the Discord oil chat room, and the actual newsletters, the algorithm models, and the conventional charting. So let's start with the oil trade alerts. So we're going to go to, well, this, by the way, is Epic's Twitter feed. And so that's at Epic the Algo. My Twitter feed is at Kurt Melanopoly. You can message me there if you'd like to ask any questions, or compoundtradingofficial@gmail.com works too. Now this is the public facing Epic feed. The private feed is, let's just see if we can, sorry guys, I have lights in my eyes. I'm in my personal trading room right now. So here's the alerts feed. That's at oil alerts. You won't be able to access it unless you're a member. But let's just go through what happened here today. So this is 12 hours ago. So let's just run through some examples. So 12 hours ago, there's an alert put out 7:52 a.m. trading 54.71 price target, high day possible 55.80. low a day possible 53.05, mid pivot 54.45, bullish bias. So at that time of day in pre-market, we were bullish, and we gave some high ends and some low ends on the Epic 30-minute model, just to give our traders a range of what we were looking at. And then we explained that we have preferred buys at 53.72, 54.18, and 54.44, trading 54.71, and that's from the Epic model. And then we explained the higher the price gets, the better the sell-off should be in advance of API, 4:30 Tuesday report. So this is all on the Twitter oil alert feed. Now in the actual Discord chat room, much more information with charting is included. So the first alert, a serious alert, comes in here where it says there's a symmetry time cycle possible for 55.96 at 4 p.m. today on the 30-minute. This is a specific, I call it the doodle chart. It's a specific chart I'm working on. Anyway, it's letting traders know that if we run, that's our high end at this point. So here's the first trade of the day at 9:02. Now, of course, in the oil trading room, I would be providing the setup guidance to the members that are attending to the room. But anyway, long 1/10, 54.82 tight stops. Now, what that means is we've executed a long trade. We're executing trades based on the sample $100,000 account. And 1/10 would be usually about one contract. 1/10 size, meaning on a $100,000 account, we would normally trade up to 10 contracts. That would be full size trade. So 1/10 would be 1/10 of 10 contracts, or one contract. Tight stops means that it's not allowing a whole lot of range. It's not a larger range trade, and we would get into details in the alerts if that was the case. Now in the room, it's much different than this, and also in the Discord chat room, but closed 54.93 likely goes again on by program high frequency. So what high frequency means is tight stops. The machine trade is trading on a high frequency basis, biased bullish, and this is in pre-market rate before open, right? And then it goes into time cycles. So time cycle inflection, the midpoint on the time cycle on the 5-minute model is at 9:15. Time cycle inflection on 15-minute running 9:15 to 9:30. Decision for continuation or not. So in other words, price was going up, and we were saying in that pocket of time, watch, because that price could turn or continue, but there was a decision there. So we're alerting as much guidance as we can on a Twitter feed here. There's much more guidance in the live oil trading room, and then there are significant number of charts shared into the Discord chat room, oil chat room. And also the alerts are much faster in there. But I'm just showing you the Twitter feed because some people like using the Twitter feed. Not too many of our traders do anymore. Most of them use the oil trading room. I have traders, by the way, like we have commercial traders that have 5 or 10 traders working with them, and they broadcast my live oil trading room to those traders. And because there isn't a bunch of chatter, it's a broadcast room specifically for trading setups as the setup is developing in the trade itself. It's not a chat room. It's not a bunch of youngsters talking, and it's specifically what we're trading. So it's literally like a radio broadcast of just the trades, right? So my point is that you can use that like an alert service because it's my voice, right? And I'm explaining, here's the setup coming, here's the time cycle, here's the charting we're using, here's what the liquidity is firing on, whether or not there's significant machine trading liquidity coming, all the different stuff that we're watching. On a Twitter feed, you can only say so much. So anyway, so the buy program started here, high frequency, 54.34, 110 size. And so that's how it goes. It just goes through bought and sold. This was a chippy day, but it did well. If we can put forward guidance on this Twitter feed, we do that. Anyway, the point is, that's the Twitter feed, and basically, long or short. So at the bottom here, long 53.32, 310 size. It sold one at 37. It sold one at 40. It's holding one at one of the ads, and because this is a sequence, and one hold for 2/10 hold in total. So those are the kind of details that we put on that Twitter feed. Now, if you go to any of the reports, so let's go to a recent report. So here's one of the recent reports that we put out, buying support into the plunge. So we were buying the support areas on the chart while oil was plunging during an intraday sell-off, right? So this report explains the setup. And by the way, these reports are on you can go to our homepage, compoundtrading.com, or we have a special, you just go to About Crude Oil Trading Academy, Learn to Trade Oil, and there's hundreds of articles there now. But the point is that these special reports go through the whole process, the setup, what's happening geopolitically, all the different charting. But this is an example of what the Discord server looks like. So in here, we're providing guidance and the charting in specific areas and time where it should start selling off. And so you can go through these reports, and if you read through them, you'll see, all the different guidance and technical indications we were dealing with and how we explained it in the Discord room. So this Discord room provides a much greater level of detail. So if you're at work, say you're an accountant, and you want to get these more advanced alerts to your device, either on your computer or your telephone, you can get the notifications from Discord so that it comes right up on your phone. You're in a meeting or whatever, and you can take a quick look at it. But you get the advantage of the chart, and then there's links to the charts and that kind of thing. This is an example of, I think this was Friday, where the machine traded, greens were buys, reds were sells. And so we would have explained, that these were the bottom ranges it was firing at. It held one right before settlement, for a nice profit there. But anyway, the point is, we're telling you these, this is where the bottom area is, and so you can plan your trade from there. The software is learning how to hold and release as it goes. A lot of our traders have reported that what the alerts do for them is that we're really, really exceptionally good because of our machine learning of alerting the lows and the highs and the time cycles. So what a lot of traders, oil day traders, have explained to me is they use our alerts in a way that it confirms their bias for lows or highs, and then their sizing, it has considerably helped their sizing. And if you only used our alerts for that, it would definitely be a fantastic add to any day traders, because our hit rate, like our win rate, is in the high 90% now. Our return rate is phenomenal, but our win rate is high, and our call rate in terms of highs and lows on the day and where to start buying is the big deal. This is what the day traders are telling me that are reporting back to me. So how do you use our oil trade alerts? Well, you've got the Twitter feed I showed you, and then you've got the Discord, and then we alert live in the oil trading room. Now, specifically to the oil trading room, that's a broadcast room, right? So that's me broadcasting like a radio announcer, the trade setups, the actual trades, what I'm looking at, to walking our traders, the oil day traders, through the trades. And it's not a trading chat room, right? It's a broadcast room. So I'm broadcasting the charts into the room. Well, here's an example where you're in the trading room right now. And so if we go to this chart, this is one of the models. And while I'm trading, I would show, if I had executed right here, I would show traders, okay, I'm executing right here based on this specific technical, blah, 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 blah. And, show them all the models and where the support and resistance is and that kind of thing. So that's what the oil trading room is. And that's why a number of commercial enterprises use our oil trading room broadcast service, because they don't get all the chatter. They don't have to worry about extra information. It doesn't clutter up their day. They use 5 or 6 different services, and they balance the signals they're getting from our room and the other rooms against their own rule sets and risk thresholds, that kind of thing. So in short, you can get the oil trade alerts on Twitter. That's one way. Or you can get them in that Discord. You can do both. And this is an example, a screenshot of that room. Or you can get the alerts in the live trading room. I would, if you're thinking about our service, go through these reports. And again, how you find them is go to Crude Oil Trading Academy and just read through some of the reports, and you'll see the screenshots from the alerts, the oil trading room, and the Discord room. Now, specifically, how to use those alerts. Those alerts, if you have the company guidance, that tells you what we're thinking. It tells you our range for the day. It tells you the timing that we're looking at. It tells you the price targets for each trade. It tells you our sizing. So you literally take that information, put it against your own trading plan and bias and trading methodologies, and weigh that information and the various charting that you receive from us and reporting, and then trade from that. Now, what you won't get from us is you won't get a whole bunch of random chatter and random opinions, because we're very methodical. Wow, why am I having a hard time with my mouth? Methodical. We don't provide a whole bunch of opinions. I mean, sometimes we'll give you some opinion, but very little. It has to be really important for us to do it. We have a lot of professional traders that use our services. So what a lot of the day traders, the retail day traders have told me, the guys and gals that are at home trading on their own, they've told me that they really appreciate it because they know when we're signaling it's serious because our win rate is so high. And they also know that we're probably getting the bottom of the day or the high of the day, and that they then can confirm their bias and they can formulate their immediate trading plan and sizing in a much better way. And I can't reinforce enough that I've had a number of traders in the last few months say to me, especially since that version 3 Epic software has been running, have said to me that their returns have skyrocketed because they're able to size at those areas where we start to execute our trades, because there's such a high probability that we're starting our trade sequences at highs or bottoms of the day that they can really start to hammer down on their trade size. And for you as a manual trader, a human trader, and not a machine trader, or the machine trading, it's much easier for you than developing machine software, because machine software, it's just different. It's very black and white. It's ones and zeros. With the human trader, the dynamics of the market, of course, software will outperform a human trader, but it outperforms a human trader in a different way. The human trader has the advantage of, especially in early development, the human trader has the advantage of saying, you know, this is a really nice pocket and I'm going to size up to 6/10. If it goes against me, I'm going to cut it right away anyway, and I'm going to release as this goes. I'm going to ebb and flow, and I don't have to follow exactly what they're doing, but they're obviously trading the outside ranges because they get the outside ranges of the range of trade on the day a super high percentage of the time. And that's where our traders have really gotten an advantage. Now, specifically to the reporting. So what we do in the reporting is we provide guidance, we provide algorithmic models, two-dimensional charts, and we provide conventional modeling. Now, I'm just going to give you a few examples of what, well, let's go into one of the reports here. So here's the one from April 29th, Crude Oil Trading Strategies. This is a weekly report for our members. It explains, you know, what this is and how it works. It explains the rule set. So these are the rules for execution on this particular model. Depending on where trade is in the model, these are the rules. And then there's a link to the model, and as trade moves through the model, it helps traders execute. This would be a look of the oil algorithm two-dimensional chart, and there's a price target there, and that goes for all the different models, all the different charts. There's conventional and algorithmic, there's time cycles, there's price targets, there's all the technical data, examples of trades in these reports. Now, what's really critical in my opinion is that a trader not only goes through these reports but has them available to him or her at all times while trading, because you want to know where the key support and resistance areas are on all conventional and algorithmic models. Really important in your trade. This is an example of the Epic model live right now, you know, so I won't get into a lot of detail here, but it's of course traveling along a support channel here, and we're thinking it's probably going to come out. It's right up, this white line here is a pivot line or resistance line. It's right up against resistance, and it's probably going to come off into API Tuesday at 4:30, probably down into this zone, 52.63 area. But that's yet to be determined. Now here's 4:30 Tuesday right here, this red line. So that's the Epic model, for example. This is the 1-minute model that we fire trades on, and this is just leftover analysis from in the trading room today. This is the 5-minute model we use a lot, especially the time cycles on it. Again, everything's support and resistance on these, but you just got to know how to use them. And the only way to know how to use them is to go into the reports that you get, and or be in the live trading room, or look at the guidance that comes into the Discord chat room with the alerts. So you know, there's a little bit of learning there, but not a lot. Like once you, this is a concept chart, by the way. It's more abstract than most. It's a 15-minute model. So while we're developing the models, we're also providing those to members. We're very transparent about what we do and how we do it. This would be, here's an example of kind of how a model builds. This is super messy, right? So this is called the doodle. This is my 30-minute doodle. Now, how this chart started was, it started as a simple channel chart, those two black lines, right? So this is a 30-minute chart, conventional, and I started with the two channels. And then I start looking at things like time cycles and frequency and retracements and trend lines and just all, and historical data, just all, you know, certain grids, and you know, you end up with this big mess. But all the traders tell me the same thing that I talk to. They love the doodle charts because I think part of the reason is they can see how the development process works into the models, and they can see, you know, this has gotten very messy. But going from a 2-line chart to a gazillion different doodles, but they get a feel for how we're developing. And as we're adding into that doodle, they can see, okay, this is what's happening now. You can see this red line here. Here's the channel, right? And quite often we have an example of algorithmic modeling is we have the channels in advance, right before their channels. So anyway, there's the concept charts too, right? And the development charts. Here's the same chart on the daily. Two big channel lines, and then a mid-channel line, and we're working with different structure on it. And here's a very, very simple chart. So there's all different types, and this is all charting that's represented in the code of the software. And the machine trade is obviously doing very well and has proven itself. So it's using the methodology that I'm telling you. It's just that it makes decisions faster. But it obviously is winning. It obviously has a great return. Its win rate is obviously very high, as is my own. Not as high as the machine software, but I think you get my point. If it's using all that data and all that information and it's winning, and I use all that data and information and I'm winning, and if you're struggling, take to heart what I'm saying. You have to open those charts, and you have to use those models. You have to know the important support and resistance, and you have to read the guidance as it comes out, because we're providing guidance to every trade, every setup, and there's just not any more possible guidance that we could provide our oil traders. So when I'm doing trade coaching and I have a trader say to me that they're struggling, the first thing I do is find out whether or not they're using the models and conventional charts, if they have them available to them, and whether or not they're reviewing the guidance that we put out, and then you get into things like your sizing, your bias, your stops, how large or small the account is, and the appropriate sizing and risk threshold for that account, right? So there's a lot that we get into there. But an example of a setup, I'll just give you one example. So on this model, all of our models, where there's horizontal red and blue line, that's what we call a trading box. It's a range of trade that the price of oil is typically going to respond to. Now you can see, now this was here in advance. We don't draw, none of this gets drawn after the fact, right? Unless we're developing a model like that chicken scratch here, all those lines, different story. Once it's developed, it's static. So these lines were here in advance of this happening. So price, when it got into here and it finally fell off, and we knew it was falling. We knew that this was going to happen, and we alerted it. Now, how do we know? Because once it falls out of there, there's a super high probability that it's going for a ride. And at this particular area of the algorithmic model, as it gets closer to the center, there's a very high probability that it's going for a deep ride. And it did. Now, that's what we call a trading box resistance or support. If you go down here further, you'll find the other side of that trading box right here. Now it fell through, which is typical on the first fall, and it got to the next major support. The thicker the line, the more important it is. There's a cluster. This is messier than typical areas on the algorithm, the EPIC algorithm, because there's a whole bunch of historical support and resistance in here. But anyway, so it ends up getting above the trading box again, and boom, and look, right back up to what? The trading box. Hits the trading box, boom. Where does it go? Right back down to the trading box, and then bounces. That's just one example. Now that particular indicator or signal on that particular model, it's outlined in great detail if you use the rule set that's in the report. Cool, eh? It makes it really easy for oil traders to know where they are, how to execute. You've got my guidance by voice. You've got my guidance in the oil chat room in the Discord server where you get alerts and charting and various guidance. You've got the private Twitter feed if you just want simple, clean alerts. And then if you are struggling, you're always welcome to send me a message. I'm completely transparent and available. You can send me a direct message on the Twitter feed at Kurt Melanopoli, or you can email us at compoundtradingofficial@gmail.com. You can always visit the website and just fill out the contact form. But the point is, and all of that, is that we're here for you. You can message us anytime, and that's how we've built this platform. I think that basically accomplishes the mission of this webinar. The goal was to give you an idea of what our live trading room is, our alert feeds are, the private Discord chat server, and our reports, and generally the positioning you've got to take to use the platform in terms of the trade alerts, the trading room, the Discord server, and the various guidance charting. The bottom line is that if you need additional help beyond what you're hearing here and what's in those reports in the trading rooms, on the alert feeds, and available as special reports, if you need more guidance than that, make sure your message. Do not put yourself in a position where you're hemorrhaging your account and not reaching out. Even the best traders in the world need a coach or more, because trading is a battle against self, and you can tilt. And if you're tilted, you might tilt for an hour, you might tilt for 6 months. Make sure you protect your downside. You can always re-enter a trade. Make sure your sizing is comfortable. If you're sweating the size, it's too big. It's just that simple. You should be able to completely relax on your size. You can use the models definitely for structure, so that if your sizing is right, you know that you're going to be able to correct trade if you have to. If you've held a little bit and you're offside, you know that your next entry is going to be good on probability, right? And that'll correct the little position you're already in, that type of thing. But we explain all that in all our special reporting, all of our newsletters, all the videos in the live trading room. You just, we say, we've done the heavy lifting. You just gotta do your little bit of homework with what we've provided for you. So that's how to use our platform: our oil trade alerts, the live trading room, the private Discord chat room, and the various setup guidance, algorithm models, conventional charting, and special reporting. Make sure you reach out if you need to. compoundtradingofficial@gmail.com. My name's Curtis, and I'm the founder of Compound Trading Group, and you can find that at compoundtrading.com and my own Twitter feed at Kurt Melanopoli. Thanks for coming out. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon.